As MBA students from all walks of life, going on international treks with our classmates, and wanting to enter large global companies, we have all done, or eventually will do, our fair share of international travel. Frequent travelers often have trouble remembering all details about their trips off of the top of their heads, and my app, the Almanac Travelog, helps users keep this information handy. First, before we sign in, under countries, we have a list of countries with facts about each from an external dataset I've uploaded, including capital, currency, language, population. And for each country, we have an individual page. We also have a list of users with their information. Here, we can sign up as a new user if desired, and each user has their own profile. I'll go into the trip information in a second. Under visits, we have a record for each time a user travels to a country, whether they had been there before or not. This page functions as a feed, if you will, so that you can know what other users have been up to. Notice that for information quality and accountability purposes, a user can't create, update, or delete a country or a visit if they're not signed in. They can create a user, as I mentioned, and once they do, they'll be immediately signed in and able to log their travel activity. Now I'll go ahead and sign in. Once I do, notice how the navigation bar changes. We now have a My Profile button, and we no longer have sign in and sign up options. We only have a sign out because we're effectively signed in. I'll go into my profile where I can see my trips. I can see that I've been on 14 trips to 13 different countries. And for each trip, I can see country facts and details. So for example, someone asks me about my time in Germany. I can go into country facts and I can talk about how I learned German, how I visited Berlin, how I used the euro, etc. Say I visited a new country and I wanted to log that trip. Then I go into the add a new trip functionality and say I visited Colombia in 2022. So I'll go into this link where I can look up the country's ID, and this opens a new tab for convenience purposes. And I can see that Colombia's country ID is 36. So I'll go country ID 36 and log in the year, which is 2022. Now I accidentally wrote in 2023 and I meant to say 2022, and I can easily change that by updating my visit. See how that has been updated in my profile. Say I don't want to use country codes because I think they're cumbersome or I'm prone to errors. So I can also go browse the countries and say I want to log a visit to Argentina. I can just go into the page for Argentina, and this country ID has already been populated for me. And I can just quickly double check that it matches the country ID. And I can say that I was here in 2001. I can confirm this visit, and now this has been added as a visit to the feed, and it has also been added to my profile. Now, let's say I'm a big fan of the Chronicles of Narnia, and I think Narnia should be recognized as its own autonomous country. Then I can add a new country. The name is Narnia. The capital, I believe, is Caraparaville. Let's say the currency is a Narnian dollar. Let's say the language spoken is Narnian, and the population is, let's say, 5,000. We're told that the country has been created successfully. We can go to the very bottom of our dataset and confirm that it's there. Finally, I can visit other users' profiles, but as you can see, I cannot log in visits for them. This is to be done by each individual user to ensure data integrity. Same goes for the Visits tab, where I can only log a trip for myself. Once I do, let's say I love Colombia so much that I went again this year, I can go ahead and write in the ID, the year, and once I do, this is immediately attributed to me. Going back to the Users tab, I can see information about other users and where they've been. So say I know I'm going to see Annie in a dinner party next week. I can brush up on Annie's travel experiences and ask him about his time in Vietnam or his time in Iceland. And for example, ask him what was his experience learning Vietnamese or how much he enjoyed Hanoi. In a nutshell, this is how you can use my app, the Almanac Travelog, to keep track of your international travel details and stay up to date with those of other users. Thank you.